All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. And I'm not going to be here all night. This is going to be a real short video, quick video. But I had to speak on the Patricia Okoumou. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Patricia Okoumou. If I'm not pronouncing it right, please forgive me. But if you've been hiding under a rock these last couple of days, Patricia Okoumou scaled she got to like the base of the Statue of Liberty in protest of the illegal immigration situation where kids are being separated from their families because they're illegally immigrating. But, I just don't understand why you would illegally immigrate with your kid, but that's another video. Also, part of that protest has to do with ICE, which is stupid. But what we have to speak on, and I'm going to give you this example. Me personally, Dynasty Mir, whenever I travel to Africa, right, any country, I try to find out as much as possible in regards to what goes on in that country, politics, religion, so I can stay on a code. The last thing I want to do is travel to a country, African country, and do something that goes against the best interest of Africans in that country. That's the last thing I would want to do. So with that being said, number one, I've been doing this now consistently, I would say 2-3 years, in regards to coming on YouTube, answering questions, shooting videos, in regards to Africa. Been traveling since 2011. And people always ask me, they say, Black Americans who are looking to, descendants of the slave trade, who are looking to relocate and find a home in Africa, they always ask me, they say, Dynast, are there any jobs in Africa? And the first response I give them is like, look, we're not going to Africa to look for jobs unless it's some type of specialty job that they just don't have in Africa, or they don't have someone with the skills to do it in Africa, then that's a different story. But for the most part, we're not going to Africa from America with everything we've learned here in America to look for jobs. We're going to create jobs or be an entrepreneur, create jobs or whatnot, and create opportunities for the locals. Because we understand, us Black Americans, this is what you have to understand. The effect illegal immigration has had on Black Americans here in America, descendants of the slave trade. All right. The Democratic Party has always used illegal immigration as a tool. Don't believe me, look it up. To disenfranchise, marginalize, and keep Black Americans out of the marketplace. They did it with Irish, Italians, and Jews, Asians. Now they're doing it with Hispanics. So with that being said, all I'm asking my African brothers and sisters, in knowing that protesting illegal immigration is not a Black issue. It's not. It's not a Black issue. Even with them being separated from their, the kids being separated from their parents, it's still not a Black issue. Because they don't give a damn, number one, about our Black children. They could care less. And this girl from the Congo, they could give a damn about Black kids in the Congo. They could care less. So as Africans, as Black people, we have to stop being so empathetic to the point where we're just naive and this, oh, we have to care for humanity and all this other stuff, because at the end of the day, they don't care about our humanity. They don't. They could care less. And they've shown that and proven that through colonialism, the 400 years of, you know, adversity that us as Black Americans have felt faced in America. You know, the CIA hits that they put on African leaders, Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba from the Congo. They don't care about you. And when it comes to minorities, they don't care about us either in the community. There's no minority coalition. It's not. I mean, you might have some friends, you might interracially date, but as far as the collective, there's really no coalition. But again, like I said, by Patricia, all right, by Patricia protesting, and this was such a struggle protest. I mean, she meant well, I guess, but it was such a struggle protest. By her protesting illegal immigration, right? By her protesting illegal immigration, something that's not a Black issue. Let me put this into context. Imagine me, Dinah Samir, Black American, coming to Congo, right? Illegally. All right. Illegally with my kid, with my son. Number one, why would I, number one, let's just keep this real. Why would you illegally immigrate with your kid? Why would you put your kid through that? Number one. Why would you do that? It makes no sense. And then I'm reading the stories on why some of these people are illegally immigrating. It's not adding up. Some are illegally immigrating because I read one story, a lady from Guatemala said she was illegally immigrating with her kid to America from Guatemala because she was going through domestic abuse. Now, domestic abuse is something you should not minimize. It's something that's serious. But you're trying to tell me that you have to sneak through Central America, Mexico, to the American border with your child, all because of domestic abuse. You have to risk death of you and your kid over domestic abuse. I'm not buying it. And again, I'm not going to minimize that. Domestic abuse is serious, but you have to go through like 4,000 miles to escape domestic abuse. That's why some of this stuff is not adding up. But anyway, so say I was escaping domestic abuse from America. I illegally immigrate with my son to Ghana, right? Number one, why would I put my child through that? That's the thing. Number two, you have to deal with the consequences if you're doing something illegal. All right, if I'm driving around my car with my son and I have some dope or something, I do something illegal and I get caught, I'm going to get separated from my son. That's why I just don't understand, why are we being social justice warriors? Why are Africans being social justice warriors? That's why I don't get it. So not only that, so say I come and I immigrate to a place like Ghana or Congo. Say Ghana or Congolese, we'll just use Ghana as an example. Say Ghana officials say, hey, look, we're going to put a clamp down on illegal immigration because we want people to stop illegally immigrating into our country. Everybody has borders that they have to protect and defend. So, I mean, I don't understand why people are outraged that people are actually protecting their borders. Every country has an immigration policy, period. So me as a Black American, I come to Ghana. Ghana experiences a illegal immigration problem from, we'll say, Chinese, Lebanese, Indians. They start taking the local jobs because they decide to work cheaper than the local Ghanaian. So then the Ghanaian government says, look, we're going to put a clamp down on this illegal immigration. they start catching, got illegal aliens, Chinese, Lebanese, Indians at the Ghanaian Ivory Coast border. I think Ivory Coast borders or Togo border, whatever. They're trying to illegally immigrate with their kids. They get caught, they get separated. Knowing this, how would I look like? Me, Black American, I come to Ghana, I get my legal status, nationality, or whatever you want to call it. And I start protesting. I start protesting why can't these people illegally immigrate, or why are you separating them from their kids when they shouldn't be illegally immigrating anyway? Knowing that the result of when they illegally immigrate is that they take jobs from the local community. I would never get off code like that. But for some reason, Patricia thought it was a smart idea to do that here in America. Knowing the history of how illegal immigration, again, Irish Jews, Italians, Hispanics, Asians, how they are used to disenfranchise Black people and keep us out the marketplace. Let me tell you what's going on here in Atlanta. Because there's always some smart ass, these illegal immigrants, they're only taking low wage jobs, jobs that, Black people don't want anyway. That's not true. This is what's going on these construction sites. This is what's going on. A lot of these companies are hiring illegal aliens because they do the work for cheaper, paying them under the table, are using these temp agencies to do it, funnel them through temp agencies. They're doing the work under the table. And then when we just won't say Black people, we'll say when American citizens, but we're focusing on Black people, so let's say Black people interview for these jobs or apply for these jobs, they're getting turned down because they have illegal aliens who are doing it for less under the table. They're not paying payroll taxes. They're not paying, workman's comp and all that stuff that you have to pay to American citizen. So they're doing all this stuff under the table. And in that's keeping opportunities for Black people from the Black community. So when you do that, that's what you're protesting. You're for keeping opportunities from the Black community. That's what you're protesting. Because again, it's real simple. Don't illegally immigrate with your kids. I mean, I don't see what I don't see what the issue is with that. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. I mean, it's really that simple. Don't illegally immigrate with your kids. What's the issue? I know it's from everywhere, but you gotta understand, they don't care. This issue's not about African illegal immigrants overstaying their visa. If it was, they'll be showing their faces on TV. They can give a damn about those Africans. They could care less. And then also too, you got to think about this too. A lot of times when Africans immigrate here, they're bringing their best. When they come from the Central American countries, they're not. And then again, I keep bringing up the ecosystem. So again, you're just looking at it from a point that, you got to look at it from a point from where it's just not about these low income jobs. It's about the ecosystem that's built around them. So they come in. Number one, they're not going to patronize your Black business. Number two, as far as employment, they're going to hire somebody that speaks their language because they're going to cater to them. And also, I would say, run the hustle. Somebody that can help these companies run the hustle. So it's going to be somebody that looks like them and speaks the language. Then as far as services that are catered to these legal aliens, it's not going to be you. It's going to be somebody that looks like them and talks like them. So again, you have to look at the bigger picture. That's why at the end of the day, Africans have to understand um, you have to understand that protesting illegal immigration, okay, is against the best interests of Black Americans. And by doing that, you're going against the best interests of Black Americans and trying to sabotage Black America. We've been through enough. In the same way, I will not go to Africa and do anything to sabotage the best interests of Africans, of the native Africans. I will not go to Africa and try to and do anything to sabotage the best interests of Africans. I wouldn't do that. So all I'm asking my brothers and sisters, all right, don't sabotage what's in the best interest of Black Americans. Because you got to understand, we already have enough of that internally. That's what I'm saying. I will never go to Africa and do anything to sabotage the best interests of the African. So all I'm asking is don't come to America and sabotage the best interest, do something to sabotage the best interest of Black Americans. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Because again, don't believe me, look it up. Illegal immigration has always been a tool to marginalize, disenfranchise, and keep Black Americans out of the marketplace. Don't believe me, look it up. It's always been a tool. Amara Camera, you're absolutely right. Again, we have issues. We do a lot to sabotage ourselves, just like on the continent. Are like filled with liberals who want non-Black love. Absolutely. Right now, and I keep bringing this up. Let's do a Maxine Waters, who's been um, the loudest when it comes to illegal immigration and trolling Donald Trump. In her district, if you go to a place called Skid Row, and I'm gonna keep bringing this up, it's worse than any third world country you could think of. Go to Skid Row, and it's majority Black people, us. But she's not yelling and screaming about that to help that out. If a white supremacist, right? And let me paint the picture. I mean, Black people are pretty much sleeping on the streets, literally sleeping on the streets, are in tents. There's heroin, syringes, crack pipes, all of that lay just on the street. But if you call out Maxine Waters because of it, you're either Black bashing. Here goes the discourse. Maxine Waters is now working in the best interest of Black people. Look at Skid Row. She's more concerned about illegal immigration and trolling Donald Trump. Here comes the dusty Black collective. Leave her alone. You're Black bashing, and Donald Trump is a racist. That's the only comeback. But then they'll complain about how Black people aren't doing that, how Black politicians aren't doing nothing for the Black community. So again, we got a ton of issues in the Black community that needs to be weeded out. We do. We have our issues. But all I'm asking you is, Africans, when you come to America, just attempt to work in our best interest. All right. And protesting illegal immigration, even though I know you guys are immigrants, like if you immigrate legally, I have no issue with it. In fact, I love to see a lot of our brothers and sisters from the continent come and Caribbean come and do it legally. No problem. But when you out here having a struggle protest on the Statue of Liberty, and now you might get your ass deported in support of people who don't do shit for the Black community, who don't give a damn about our Black babies. When you do that, you're completely off code. Completely off code. Because again, I would not go into Africa, a country, and put the best interest of non-Africans over the African. I would never do that. Never. And like somebody, Frederick, said in the chat, they deport Africans faster than brown immigrants. Yeah, they don't care about you guys. Period. So all I'm asking is just operate in the best interest of Black people, Black Americans, descendants of the slave trade. Just operate in our best interest. That's all we're asking. And supporting illegal immigration is not in our best interest. It's just not. It's counterproductive. You're sabotaging the Black community. Guys, we have 156 people watching, only 52 likes. Please hit that like button. What's up, Holip? Because again, I would not go to Africa and operate off code against the best interest of the African. I wouldn't do it. So we're just asking that you reciprocate. That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking. Because a lot of this is just dusty social justice warriorism. That's all it is. I gave you a prime example. She was also part of that ICE group. See, that's the thing. That's another something else you have to unpackage. Why this is a struggle protest is stupid. She was part of the ICE, let's get rid of ICE movement. Listen, every country has some type of agency to deal with people who have illegally immigrated. Every country has borders, it has rules and immigration laws and policies. And if you violate that policy, they have checks and balances in place to remove you. Same thing in Congo. So why would you protest to remove ICE when there's an ICE in Congo, when there's an ICE in every country in Africa? I wish I could pull the I'm a Black American, descendant of the slave trade. Let me overstay my visa, and you better not deport me. In fact, you better give me my nationality now. I wish I could do that, but I can't. They'll look at me like I'm crazy. So when you're over here, if you're African and you're over here protesting, let's get rid of ICE, that makes absolutely no sense. What's up, y'all? Appreciate the super chat. That makes absolutely no sense. Because that would be like me protesting on why I can't illegally immigrate into the Congo, all right, overstay my visa in the Congo. And then if they catch me and deport me, I want you guys to protest why the Congo authorities are removing me. That shit makes no sense. I want you guys to protest and have the Congo version of ICE. I want you guys to protest for them to get rid of that agency because I illegally immigrated into Congo and I would not leave. And they have the audacity to try to deport me. Shit makes no sense. That's why just Africans don't get involved in this dusty social justice warriorism. Don't get involved in that. It makes no sense. I mean, think about it. I illegally immigrate into an African country, Ghana, Nigeria, Congo. She's from the Congo, so we use Congo as an example. I overstay my visa. They come and remove me or try to remove me. They detain me. And, I'm shooting live from the detainment center with my iPhone and saying, guys, I want you guys to help me protest the Congolese authorities because I illegally immigrated and they're about to send me back home to America. I can't believe it. I want you guys to protest that. Makes no sense. So when you come to America and protest an agency which is in place, just like every other country has an agency that's in place, right, to protect its borders, and you violate the policies and rules when it comes to illegal immigration, overstaying your visa, you want to protest removing that agency, it makes no sense. Because every country has it. Every country has borders. They have borders laws, protection, and policies, immigration policies. But for some reason in America, we should change ours. For some reason. So we can just let everybody come in. Makes no sense. That's why, Patricia, this was just a dusty struggle protest. That's all it was. It was just a dusty struggle protest. Guys, get the likes up, please. It was that's I mean, that's the best way I could describe it, as a dusty struggle protest. You know, even the people she was with disavowed her and said, look, we had nothing to do with this struggle protest. She was on her own and she needs to get her own lawyer. Exactly what, as the read what the official statement from the group she was with said. But the group was for getting rid of ICE. So pretty much getting rid of an agency that protects borders, so people just can't flood the borders, can't just flood the country illegally. Let me go with that smart idea to Nigeria and say, hey, you guys need to remove your version of ICE so everybody could just flood your country and illegally immigrate and take jobs from the local Nigerians. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. Make sure you go to search for Okoumou on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also go to Africa Personified on all those same platforms. Also go to search for who.com, Samir.com, Amazon.com, search your name, Samir. Also go to Africa Personified on Africa. Until next time, peace.